Hey, in today's lesson, I'm going to tell you five things that will help you speak English faster. Your goal is to speak English fluently, and that's what this lesson is going to help you do. Are you ready? Well then, I'm teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. Now, the very first tip is this one. Believe that you can do it. One more time, believe that you can do it. This is so important. As you're studying English, as you're going along your journey, you are learning many new things. But you must first believe that it's possible. And you see, when you believe that you can do it, this will help you have more confidence when you start speaking English. Think about it. You learn something new. You encounter a native English speaker and all of a sudden you freeze up, you get nervous. Why? Because you're not sure you can do it. So you must remember that the first thing you have to do is believe that you can do it. Another reason why this is so important is because when you, my friend, believe that you can do it, you won't get discouraged if you make a mistake. Along your English journey, you are going to make mistakes. It's a fact. Even native English speakers, when we speak English, we make mistakes. And I'm sure in your own language, you make mistakes sometimes as well. So when you believe that it's possible, when you believe that you can speak English fluently and that you will achieve your goals, what will happen? You'll stop worrying about mistakes. You won't beat yourself up. You won't get discouraged. Believe that you can do it. Also, when you believe that you can do it, your negative thoughts about your English ability will start to fade away. Listen, I'm your English teacher and I love teaching you new English words, expressions, and ideas and how to organize your thoughts. But one thing that I also love doing is helping you change your mindset. When you believe in yourself, again, your negative thoughts saying, oh, you're not as good as this person, or oh, you made a mistake, or oh, ... Those negative thoughts will fade away. The first thing you have to do is simply believe that you can do it. I believe in you. That's why I teach you English. That's why I'm so passionate about helping you achieve your goals, because I believe in you. Now you have to believe in yourself. So number one, believe that you can do it. The second thing is also very important. Practice in the mirror. Once again, practice in the mirror. Now, I love this one because maybe you are currently living in a country, and in your country, there are no native English speakers. So sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming when you're trying to practice, but there's no one around you. Oh, but my friend, practicing in front of the mirror will change your English. You see, practicing in the mirror will help you be less nervous when you speak to others. There's something that happens psychologically. When you look in the mirror and you practice speaking in English, you're watching yourself. You see how you're presenting yourself, and it will actually help you speak English better. So again, it will help you stop being nervous when you speak English to others. Another thing that will help you is this. When you practice in front of a mirror, you will gain more confidence in your ability to speak English. You see, as you look at yourself in the mirror, as you're speaking English, you're actually going to realize how much you know. You're going to say, wow, I'm not that bad. Wow, I am speaking English. Wow, I can do anything. You see, by practicing in the mirror, you'll start gaining more confidence. Again, this is going to help you speak English more fluently. This will also help you be more aware of your posture when you speak English. Body language is important. For example, as you're watching this video lesson, right? I'm teaching you English. I'm using my hands. I look confident as I speak to you, right? Imagine if my posture changed and I started by saying, hey, I'm going to help you with your English. All of a sudden, you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Hey, wait a minute. Tiffani doesn't look as confident as she normally does when she's teaching English to me. Your posture makes a difference. So when you speak to someone in English, you want to make sure your shoulders are back. You're proud of what you're saying. You're confident in yourself. And when you practice in the mirror, you'll start fixing your posture. Listen, you can do it. Number one, again, believe you can do it. Number two, practice in the mirror. All of these things are going to help you improve your English fluency. Now, number three, I like number three. Here's number three. Learn and teach one new thing every single day. That's right, you heard me right. Learn and teach one new thing every single day. Now, let me explain why this is so important. When I say learn and teach one new thing every single day, you as an English learner, first of all, you're amazing. You're intelligent. You're learning another language. And every single day, you are being exposed to something new. As I'm teaching you, you hear new words and expressions. Something's in my eye. You hear new words and expressions that maybe you've never heard before, right? Those new words, those new expressions, those new ideas, right? You're writing them down in your notebook. As soon as you learn them, think of someone you can teach them to. Let's say, for example, the word you learned today was scrumptious. I taught my students this word scrumptious. It means, extremely delicious. Extremely delicious. Now, after you learn that word, find someone to teach the word to. You learned a new word. Now it's time to teach it. Do this one time every single day, and your English will improve fast. Now, I want to give you a few more reasons, but as I said scrumptious, I realized that you might want to learn with me as well. I have a totally free newsletter. So in the link, you'll see a link to my newsletter. It's totally free, and 3 times a week, I send an email with English tips, helping you improve your English. So if you enjoy my YouTube lessons, if you enjoy my podcast, all you have to do is click the link in the description. Again, speakenglishwithttiffani.com/newsletter, and I'll start sending it to you totally for free so that you can continue learning with me. Now, again, the third tip I mentioned to you was right here. Again, learn and teach one new thing every single day. By doing this, it will enforce what you learned. When you teach somebody the word scrumptious, what's going to happen? The next time you go out to eat and someone places a plate of food in front of you, you take a bite. This is scrumptious. Why? Because you learned it and then you taught it to someone else, so it's going to be at the forefront of your mind. Again, it reinforces what you learn. This will also help you remember what you learned faster when you get into an English conversation. You know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes you get into a conversation and someone asks you something in English, and all of a sudden, your mind goes blank. I don't know what to say. But when you learn and teach someone every single day, that word, that expression, that idea will pop into your mind very quickly when you go to have an English conversation. And finally, this will also, I want to put this one on the screen for you as well. This will also boost your confidence in your ability to speak English. Think about it. If you're able to not only learn something, but break it down in a way that someone else that's learning English can understand, you talk about a confidence booster. Wait a minute, I really do understand this. So again, when you learn and teach one new thing every single day, it will boost your confidence in your ability to speak English. This is the third thing you must do if you want to speak English faster and fluently. Now, number 4, this tip is also very, very important. You need to answer the 5 W's at the end of your day. Again, answer the 5 W's at the end of your day. Now, you've been studying with me for a while, so you know the 5 W's, right? Say them with me. You ready? Who, what, when, where, and why. Exactly, the 5 W's. So at the end of the day, think about your day. Who were you with? What did you do? Where did you go? Why did you go there? Think about all of these things and answer each of the 5 W's. Now, why is this important? By doing this, it will help you think in English throughout your day. It's not difficult. It's not challenging, right? Very simple, right? Who, what, when, where, and why. As you're going through your day, oh, I hung out with my friend today. Oh, we went to the park. Oh, why? Because we were tired. You're thinking in English all throughout your day, so at the end of the day, you're able to answer the 5 W's. It will also help you organize your thoughts like a native English speaker every single day. Remember, your goal is to sound like me, right? And you can do it. Don't worry. I have students that have done it. That's your goal. So you have to learn how to think like a native English speaker, and this will help you do that. Finally, this will also help you use the English you already know to describe your day. This is something that I try to encourage my students on a regular basis to do. You already know a lot of English. You're smart, you're intelligent. You've probably been studying English for months, years, maybe even decades. So in your brain, there are already a lot of words and expressions and thoughts. This right here will simply help you start to utilize what you already know, improving your English. Makes sense, right? Now, the 5th thing I need you to do is this right here. Record 1 video every week. Now, I know that sounds scary. I know you're like, whoa, Tiffani, whoa. Every week? Listen, my friend, it's not as hard as you think. Again, this is something I encourage each and every one of my students to do. You have a cell phone, right? Doesn't matter which cell phone you have. Take your cell phone out and just record yourself. Remember, we talked about number 2, practicing in front of the mirror, right? With your cell phone, you can see yourself, record yourself talking about your day. Now, why is this important? First, this will help you track your progress. As an English learner, you have a large goal, a big goal. You want to speak English like a native. You might not be there yet, so sometimes you feel discouraged. But when you have videos once a week, and you can track your progress, you'll suddenly feel better. Wait a minute, I'm getting better with time. This will also help you be more comfortable speaking English in front of others. Something happens. Wow, something's in my eye again. Don't worry, I leave this in the video so you can know it's real. So, something happens when you record yourself. Something happens psychologically. You know what? One of my students, Kathy, I'll say her name. Hey, Kathy. Kathy told me this happened to her. She said, Tiff, I was a little bit shy to speak English in front of people at times. But then I heard what you said. You gave us the instruction in the academy to record a video. She said, and I started doing it, Tiff. She said, in the beginning, I wasn't comfortable, but I kept doing it every week. Fast forward, after only a few short months, Kathy started a YouTube channel. You heard me right. A YouTube channel where she speaks English in every video, all because she started recording herself every week and she lost that nervousness. She started being more confident in her ability to speak English, and she now speaks English in front of others with no problems at all. Confidence, I love it. So remember, it will help you be more comfortable when you speak English in front of others. And finally, this will help you gain confidence in your ability to speak English well. Something happens when you have to record yourself every week and you can see what you're doing. Trust me, you can achieve your English goal. You will be able to speak English like a native English speaker if you follow these tips. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and I hope you remember that you can do it. I believe in you. I'll talk to you in the next lesson. You still there? Ha ha! You know what time it is. Here we go. Sing it with me. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. I like this story. Some of my students might have heard this story already, but I really like this story, so I'm going to tell you this story. This story is about a time that I went on a retreat, a camping trip, basically, with some friends of mine. Now, this was about 18 or 17 years ago. We were in college, our third or fourth year in college, and we were going on this spiritual retreat. There were cabins and there was a lake. It was amazing, right? The food was good. The fellowship was great. And one day, I think it might have been a Sunday morning, they said, hey, who wants to go and get the canoes and go on the lake? We said, sure, let's do it. Now, I could swim and everything. I'm not scared of water. So all of my friends and I, we went down to the lake and they made sure everyone had a life jacket on, right? So we put our life jackets on and there were a ton of us together. So I decided I have been canoeing before. And then one of my friend's cousins and another gentleman, neither of them had canoed before. So I said, you know what? You guys can have the experience. I'll sit in the middle of the canoe and you two can be the ones that are actually rowing, right? Because they had never done it before. No problem at all. So I sat in the middle, one sat in the back and the other sat in front of me. So, you know, we get in the water. Now, the very first thing I asked y'all, I said, now, wait a minute. Are there any snakes in this water? I said, I'm not scared of water, but what I don't like is snakes. They said, oh, no, Tiff, you're good. Don't worry about it. Pay attention to my face, okay? So I said, okay, cool. So we get in the canoes. They're probably like 4 or 5 canoes, right? So we're out in the middle of the water, in the middle of the lake. And all of a sudden, our canoe started doing a little bit of extra rocking. I said, now, whoa, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. We rocking a little bit. They said, yeah, don't worry, Tiff, don't worry. Now, just to give you a little bit of backstory, this is about my hair. So you notice my hair changes a lot, right? Different hairstyles, right? African-American women, we have different hair textures depending on the woman, right? My hair texture, for example, right now, it's in its natural state. It's naturally very curly. At that time, I had a perm. And when a black woman, an African-American woman gets a perm, the hair goes completely straight. It looks nice both ways. I love this style and I like that style as well. I had just gotten my hair done right before the retreat. It was fried, dyed, and laid to the side. That's a slang term we use, African Americans use, right? My hair looked really good. I had just gotten it done. And you know when you're a college student, you don't have a lot of money, right? So I had just gotten it done. It looked really good. I wasn't worried about anything because, hey, we were just going on a lake in a canoe. So then the boat continued. The canoe continued to rock back and forth. And wouldn't you know, it rocked, and it flipped over. Now, the canoe flipped over, but remember I told you my hair, I had just gotten my hair done. Wouldn't you know, the canoe flipped, but my hair, listen, this girl's hair did not touch the water. The canoe flipped. Now, all of this was told to me after, people that were watching the situation, right? The canoe flipped. As soon as it flipped, I was swimming. As soon as it flipped, I was swimming. And my hair was not touching the water, right? My hair was pretty long too, but it wasn't touching the water. So I was swimming. I was swimming to another boat that my other friend happened to be in, right? Another canoe. And as I was swimming toward their canoe, my friend, they were like, no, Tiff, no. And I was like, why are they saying no? I'm getting out of this water into their canoe. They were like, Tiff, if you get in, we'll all fall out. I said, oh my goodness. And at that moment, I realized I had nothing left that I could do. And so my hair got wet because I had to kind of go in the water. So while I'm processing the fact that my hair is wet now and I done paid money for my hair, behind me, I hear screams. And so my friends that are in front of me are like, Tiff, go back to the boat. Now remember, I could swim. I had a life jacket on, but I could swim. I turned back and looked at the canoe behind me, and the 2 individuals that were with me were kind of bobbing in the water. And I was like, what is going on? Now, the female, I was told that she could swim, and I assumed the guy could swim because he was like a real buff guy. So I swim back to the canoe, and I'm like, stop screaming. Stop screaming. This is something about me. In emergency situations, I'm able to think very clearly. I don't get shocked. I don't get frazzled. I think very clearly. I think it's because my dad was in the military for 30 years. So in an emergency situation, I'm the one that thinks very clearly. So I'm telling them to calm down. I look at the girl and I said, can you swim? She's like, yes. She's still bobbing. I said, so stop screaming and swim. She stopped and she started swimming. I said, okay, got her. I look at the guy. He's screaming, flailing. I said, can you swim? He said, no. I said, oh my goodness. So I help him. I said, listen, you have a life jacket on. Stop flailing. Just relax. So we turn the canoe over. He's holding on to it. She's holding on to it. And we eventually get back to land. My hair, no, completely wet. We get back to the edge. I'm like, okay, we're all safe. Now remember I told you to remember my facial expression. As soon as we get to the edge, I said, woo, at least there are no snakes in this water. Somebody said, yes, there are. There's tons of snakes in this water. I said, never again. So God protected us, but my hair got wet and I had to save 2 people. So I enjoyed the trip, but it's a trip I will never, ever forget. Maybe you had to save your friends before, and maybe your hair got wet after you got it done. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson.